What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Let me turn this camera on. Give me a second. There you go. Giovanni, are you there? Give me a second. Give me a second.
What is up? What is up?
What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Let me turn this camera on. Give me a second. There you go.
What's that, man?
Giovanni, are you there?
Is that you or me?
Second. Give me a second.
What is up? What is up?
What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Let me turn this camera on. Give me a second. Gio. Can you hear me? Gio, can you hear me? We good now?
You're all set, brother.
Ah, perfect. Okay, cool. Give me a second. Welcome everyone to another SNL. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone here had an amazing weekend. And this is the first SNL of the month of June. I'm really excited for it. We have the one and only Gio, and you know what's funny? We haven't done an SNL together in months, for sure, in months. But how you doing, Gio? Talk to us.
I'm doing good, bro. You know what's so funny about Miguel? He's like that grandpa trying to figure out the computer. Um,
Oh, me.
it's
Oh,
it's it's
I'm
it's
gonna I'm gonna
hilarious.
share the screenshots right now.
Hey, man, post the truth. I'm all with the truth.
Okay.
Nothing but the truth. But what's good, guys? Yeah, it's been a minute. It's an honor to be in here. I know a couple of the individuals has just left the trading lock-in. And I've been this trading lock-in is going city to city, right? You're gonna have pretty much Junior and Mike, I believe, going to California next, and then coming out to Texas, last but not least. So super excited for that. But Miguel, would you like to go first, or would you like me to take it away?
I can go first, and then I'll let you close it up. But okay, so first things first, guys. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Give me a second. Um, okay. Boom. And as well in the chat, guys, let us know where you guys are tuning in from. How you guys feeling today? And first things first, I am going to go to Forex Factory. Um, and I did see something. This week we have volatility, right? Wednesday and Thursday we have news. We have CPI 5:30 a.m. An hour before New York on Wednesday. Tomorrow we don't have any news. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we do have news. Um, and guys, what's happening on Wednesday? what's happening on on Thursday, my bad. We have the World Cup, right? I don't know what you think, Gio. When everything happening, like with the World Cup, I feel like there can be volatility as well with this, or what are your predictions when it comes to the market? Will that affect it?
Yeah, no, great question, man. I mean, you do have to understand that there can be two reasons, right? And I'm kind of adding things up, and it sounds very weird, but it wouldn't be very surprisingly if you think about it that gas prices were raising up right before the World Cup, right before tourists start coming in. Things like these are going up, so it wouldn't be a surprise to me that we can probably see price go up, the DXY go up, the value of the dollar index, just because it's being used much more. People are going to be coming from all around the world, traveling within the America, South Mexico, America, and Canada. So it doesn't sound too wrong with me. I do believe oil prices have completely um, gas prices had completely shot down last week. We were at probably 450 here in the United Texas area, and right now we're sitting at $3.45. I think we'll probably chill there for a couple of months and see how negotiation ends. But for the World Cup, man, I do believe that we can have some reasoning on why markets will continue to transfer. Do you see what I see though?
Uh,
Go back.
4 hour.
Yeah. So you see that low to that high. We have our consolidation market push it to your left, left. Bigger
What?
scale. Yeah, that
My,
push down.
oh, this is why I have my alarm right here.
Yeah, I like that zone.
Yep. Awesome. So yeah, I 100% agree with that. I feel like prices are gonna go up. I know a person that sells avocados, right? I was helping him out, and it's crazy how a box of avocados is going from 25 bucks all the way to $60. So I know that'll also affect the market, not just right and fruits, vegetables, and everything for the restaurants. But gas prices, how Gio said, everything, and I think it's gonna affect the market overall. Like we're gonna see some movement. So just be aware of. I feel like a crazy 2 months, June and July for sure. But all right, guys. So first things first. We did a check Forex Factory. We did see that we have news on Wednesday and Thursday. World Cup starts on Thursday. And I'm gonna start with indices. Okay, I'm gonna start with indices real quick. We saw Friday that the market just tanked, right? I know some of you guys did get into some buys for market open today, and you guys made some profits. Now, when I look at this in the 4 hour, right? Did we change structure? Uh, in the 4 hour, maybe, but I feel like we probably just came into this trap candle right here with NAS. That one right there, right? And we have this low right here. So I think this was just a higher low daily time frame. Here it is. This is the daily trap candle before all this rally. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, consecutive days of just being bullish, creating all-time high on Wednesday, June 3rd, right? June 2nd. And then all of a sudden, the 3 following days, we started dropping. So, do you think will it respect this? I believe that if we do break on the daily under this candle, we can potentially see going south, right? Looking for some shorts. That's on the daily time frame. Now, when I look at the 1 hour, uh, I don't like to trade of this, just of this. For me, I feel like it hasn't really showed me a sign to the upside yet. Let me see smaller time frames. Let me see the 5 minute. Maybe a scalp. I don't know how this will play out. Those right here. But other than that, I think I'll just be out from NAS 100 for now. I did like potential sells around here. Reason why we had this highs right here, right? We went higher and then we dropped. We created this consolidation for me as liquidity, but we left all this imbalance in here. So I think with NAS, I did put my alarm right here. If we do get to this zones, I can start potentially looking for some shorts around here. SPX, very similar setup. Let me go to the 4-hour with SPX. It then reacted off this trap candle right here. Nice. US 30. I like this right here. Just how Jill said. I did have my alarm, I think, since last week. I like this right here. All of this. This imbalance. And also we do have this zone right here in the 1 hour. So we're gonna wait and see price is gonna get either to this trap candle, right? Or we're gonna get to the lower zone. We have an institutional candle that clears all this trailing liquidity buyers, this candle, and then right away we just went up. So I'm gonna just be patient. These are my zones, guys. If you do have any zones, please send it on, what is it, inside of the chat on Telegram. I'm gonna go ahead and check my phone, Gio, and if you see something, bro, let us know as well. From Ohio, let's get it. Perfect. So gold is dropping as we speak right now, right? I did have this zone, which I did not enter on Friday. The market on Friday was just dumping out like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna respect this. It's just going south for now. Where can potentially gold get to? I feel like it can come and fill all this wick in the 4 hour. Let me go to the 1 hour in here and see all of this. I think it can come over here, around there, to this candle still, and I'm not even going lower. I did show seasonality chart last Sunday, and we did see that during June. The market with gold tends to drop lower, and yes, it's been dropping lower lately. Same thing with indices. If we do break below this wick, like body close, right? There's the weekly. Let me see the daily. On the daily time frame, I think we can drop lower with gold, but we'll see what happens. And last week I did go over Euro USD. Let me see, and GBP USD. It was right here last Sunday, right? I did cover this buy. I told you guys, and if you don't believe, just go and see the last SNL. I did talk about this candle, right? This trap candle, and I was mentioning that EU can potentially react from this one, and GU was gonna go lower, right? Or maybe even play from this. It didn't come all the way over here. It did play out from this zone, which I did drew over here, right? But if some people put their stop losses below this low, they got worked out with this. So EU was definitely the play. It was really nice. It would have gave, if we would have just 50% of that trap candle, stop loss below the low, boom, 1 to 3. There, that's your 1 to 3, but it did give all the way. I think like even to this trap candle would be good, like a 1 to 5. So this was a nice play right here with Euro USD. And now it just kept on dropping as well. Why did it keep on dropping? Because the XY, it's going higher, right? How do you know if it's a trap candle? Okay, I do see the question here. So I know them more of an order block. I lately a lot of people have been calling it trap candles, basically the same thing. Or some people, if you been plugging in with Vinny as well here and there, he'll talk about starting point, right? Basically, it's like a lot of money is sitting right here. This right here, this the way to understand trap candles and the way that I was able to just see them more in the graphs, it was by following this simple rule, right? And I'm gonna be real quick with this. This how you can start identifying trap candles, order blocks, SPs, right? Starting point. Number one, it will be look for a VOS breakup structure or change of character or change of direction, however you want to call it. Number two, make sure well there has to be a rally of minimum 3 consecutive candles the cause the VOS or change of character. Number three, the opposite candle to the rally will be your zone. Put it like this, right? What happened right here? We have 1, 2, 3, more than 3 candles. We created a breakup structure to the upside. So 1 and 2 right there. What is 3? This will be a trap candle right here, right? Or order block. There can be different order blocks as well. Let me go to the 1 hour. For example, look at this one right here, okay? Number 1, look for a breaker structure or the change of character. We're in the 1 hour. What happened right here? I'm gonna put this right here. The market was consolidating right here. You see this? And then we broke structure to where? To the downside. We have number 1. Number 2, do we have minimum 3 consecutive candles the cause of breakup structure? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we do. Number 3, which one's the opposite candle before the rally? Is this buying candle. So if I were to grab this as my zone of interest for sales, what happened? Did the market react from there? Boom. Stop loss right here above the high. And this one did give a nice 1 to 2.5. Here it is. Does that make sense? You play the entire body of the trap candle and not the sweep. It just depends. For example, on this one, I did grab the whole zone. If you see right here, right? So it's not just the body, but I did go wick to wick. And this is institutional candle, clears as highs and drop lower. But it's just this strategy right here is what helped me train my eye to be able to identify certain zones. It doesn't mean it's gonna play all the time. It doesn't mean this is the only way of trading. It doesn't mean I trade like this. Like I don't just trade like this, right? I like to go for the sweep of liquidity, look for the imbalances and enter of that. Like this is just if you're barely starting, this will be something that can help you identify certain zones. Let's do another example. Let me go to let me see USD JPY. Let me see what I had in here. I forgot what I had in here. Oh, okay. Let me go to the 4 hour. Okay, for example, here, like this market, as we see, is just going higher. We do have what? The trap candle right here. You see that right there? This is a trap candle. It's already in the zone, meaning maybe you can execute the stop loss above the high. But as I see just price action right now, we're too bullish. I feel like me trying to enter this short is like trying to stop a freaking what is it? A rocket, right? Like this thing is just flying right now. So if I want to stop this, like I'm at risk. Like my stop loss might just get freaking hit. Why? Because the market, is, as you see, is just keep on going up. Now, can it just play it out and react to the downside? Yes, but now USD what correlates with USD or what other thing you can use will be the DXY. The DXY, if DXY starts looking weaker, which it kind of is right now, right? Maybe USD can drop. If DXY starts dropping, then I think USD can start dropping too. But also, if you see right here, it did give some reactions to the downside. So just having consideration that all of this, but also let me see. I was in the 4 hour. I like to grab my zone. In this example, would it be this whole zone, right? Right there. But let me know if that makes sense. So is the candle the prior to the yes, just Alex. For example, here it is. Last opposite candle before the rally. Okay. It's just for you to start identifying certain zones. It doesn't mean play just of those zones. No. And if you want to get into more of the trap candles and stuff like that, I think Jordan Morgan and Valentino do cover them in their courses. So go ahead and log in into Zenrai and go to Zenrai courses, and just go ahead and study them as well. They will go more in depth on that. But yeah, I hope that made more sense, bro. Cool. Some pairs that I like to trade a lot, NZD, USD. Last Sunday, what was it? Where did it play out? Let's see. 4 hour. Let's see if DXY is going up, then NZD USD will be dropping. But as for now, in the 1 hour, can we possibly see some shorts in here? NZD USD, let me see AUD USD. Oh, 2 hour. Okay, here's the other order block right here, top candle. This right here. Last buying candle before the breakup structure to the downside. Here you go. NZD USD. There it is. So I won't take both. I will put an alarm. And I think we're in the 2 hour, right? NZD USD, AUD USD, they move very similar, as you guys can see right here. Another one that can possibly move very similar will be Euro USD and GBP USD. Here it is. You guys see that? Boom. And now it's just about preferences. Which one would you like to take? I usually just wait for the one that gets there last. I'll put an alarm on this one as well and see what happens. But other than that, I'm gonna let Gio just cover more indices in depth for you guys. If you have any questions, if you have any markup, go ahead and send them in the chat on Discord. That way we can cover them as well. Oh, also, before I pass it to Gio, I do want to give a huge shout out to Reno for hosting the first workshop of this tour that we're having with Mike Sotero, Junior, Andre, right? Shout out to you guys for flying out to other cities. I know tomorrow we have Modesto. So if you're in Modesto, California or surroundings and you would like to attend to an in-person event workshop, make sure to get your ticket, be there and buy people. And let's go ahead and pack this out. Trust me, the information that you will receive right there is going to be life-changing information. And definitely, if you take action, you will be so grateful because, like I said, right now, if you guys see crypto, have you guys seen crypto lately? What happened with crypto? Where is Bitcoin? Do you guys think we'll go lower than this? We did touch lower than what happened in February. So, we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. This weekly candle this close, I think we are going lower. So right now, information that you will receive in person from Mike Sotero Jr., people that invest a lot into the markets, you definitely want to be inside of those rooms, right? And also go ahead and hop on Zen right live. Uh, and keep on learning more about crypto. Position yourself. You know, right now I think it's the perfect time for you to keep stacking up your bread, right? And invest whatever you can afford to lose as well, right? It's not just throwing money that you need, but I would say either pick up a side hustle, build this business, right? Shout out to the ones that went to the BP lock-in in Lake Tahoe. It looked lit. Shout out to you guys. Um, and just build another source of income for you to invest. But I think we're gonna drop lower into the 40 case area with crypto, with Bitcoin. But with that being said, guys, this is it for myself. Shout out to you guys for plugging in. We are 28 people. Let's go. Let's double this number next Sunday, and I'm gonna have Gio take it away and close it out for everyone. Thank you.
What is good? I have to put instrumental because they'll shut us down. YouTube won't let us play any music like that. But what is up, guys? I'm happy to be here another Sunday. I want to go over a couple things when it comes to the market. First and foremost, I want to see um everyone on. I see we have around 27 people live right now. We see Alex, Antonio, David, Deborah, Trader Joe. For some reason, I feel that's Austin. Sergio, what's good, guys? So first and foremost, let's get straight into the market and walk through what's going on. There's a lot of things going on, right? Like Miguel said, this is beautiful right here. This whole movement push down, we start creating new highs. But right, like Miguel was mentioning, I do believe since the World Cup is going to be here, it's going to increase the dollar. More people are going to be using the dollar. People from outskirts are going to be, just supply and demand. Very simple and easy terms to describe it to y'all. Supply and demand, right? So the first thing I want y'all to go over, who in here has ever heard of VIX, right? VIX is something I found probably a couple weeks ago, right? I want to say like a week or two ago. But the first thing I want to talk to y'all is kind of the big picture into the markets, what just happened, what's going on, and just the actual numbers, right? First and foremost, the earning pictures Q1 was actually very strong, guys. What that means, Q1 profits grew 28.6% within the first 3 months of the year. That was more than doubled than 13.1% that was expected, right? So it was a little bit over 100, more than 100%, and it's the highest pace since quarter 4 2021. And if we really think about it, quarter 4 2021, what was quarter 4 2021, right? It was the end of COVID, right? Businesses started opening up again, right? things started going back to normal. And it's very odd to me that we haven't been at a price like that till recently. I mean, like I was telling Miguel, it's kind of odd that this is happening right before the World Cup, right? Before we get tourists in here, could it just been a money grab by our government to be able to make more money because we are hosting the World Cup and we will be pretty much treating and taking care of every other country. But number two, the market is being carried by tiny numbers of stocks. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that, and it's kind of something I've been very aware of. The stock market is being carried and being manipulated by some big companies within the Nasdaq, within the Dow Jones, within SPX, like Nvidia, right, like Microsoft, right, out of tech, right. Um, their earnings growth dropped from 54 down to 30%. That's a pretty good drop. It's around 50% of what you just did. And the reason why that matters is because you have to understand it's not sustainable, right? It's not sustainable within the markets. You want to be aware of these things as a trader. You don't want to just go within the markets and believe that your strategy is just it. There is fundamentals behind the technicals, and it's very very important that you break those down block by block, right? And that's kind of something I kind of been saying it just can't be or can't go for so long. If we look at any of the indices, right, any of these, right, we've just been bullish and we've never really had a retracement, right? This is a bullish market, right? Market has never retraced, became bearish, and again, this might just be a healthy bullish, and we're just number one in the world. But that just sounds way too good to me to be true because a lot of people are struggling around this time. Just in credit cards, people are there's trillions of dollars in debt within just credit cards. So what we know is that the United States has a bad um, way of handling their money, right? A bad way of running their finances, right? That's what the understanding that I'm getting right now. And the reason why, right, this is gonna go up, and the reason why I don't think it will always go up, right? This is SPX is because I think everyone will hit a point where they reach their credit limit or um you just hit to a point where you can't make that decision. And I feel like within America, the what the day to day American does, I think it will hit a point where people can't afford these or they can't doesn't make sense, right? Or we're gonna have a lot of foreclosures and a lot of homeless people. That's how I see it, right? Strip Alphabet and Meta out of communications, and 48.9% earning growth flips to a 4.1 decline. So not too crazy, right? Just 4% concentration risk. When a few stocks carry the whole market, it's fragile, like I mentioned. You need to understand this isn't broad strength. This isn't actual, like, it's not an actual narrative, right? And that's when we get into the Fed's and interest rate situation. We just have obviously Fed current targets rate sits at 3.5 to 3.7. We do have new Kevin Warsh is now framing the path ahead, but a lot of people said that first acknowledgement within President Trump it was gonna be probably and the last X tweet was gonna probably be the nicest Trump will ever be to this gentleman, and I agree 100% because I don't believe right rates are gonna change, right? I don't think he's gonna come here and start making cuts, right? I really don't, right? Markets are currently pricing at 98% chance that the Fed holds rates steady at June's meeting. No cuts coming, and economists are now openly saying we're not getting a cut this year. The strong job reports killed that narrative. And really, you also have to think about it. The market is just very unstable, right? Just the best to say it. It's very unstable. It's very volatile. And within the real investing world, guys, right? Volatility is not always a good thing for these investors, right? Maybe you like entering those trades that move real quickly, but you also have to understand the economists, these investors, they play the 5 to 10 year route. You're playing the minute route. You're playing the 5 minute route. You have to start thinking bigger and where this can go in the future. Right, the FOMC minutes show the Fed is concerned that elevated oil prices and tariff prices costs could cause inflation to become embedded, which would force a potential rate hike, not a cut. Right, so we would be increasing then decreasing. And then most importantly, a fragile U.S. When it comes to oil, a fragile U.S. Iran ceasefire put Brent crude back from $119, and we're currently sitting at $91. So it was around a 6% drop since last year, and the critical is at $100. It's looking like corporate margins, just like Walmart, are getting flagged that they're not able to handle things like this, right? But overall, the market had a reality check this week, right? AI hype got tested, chips cracked, the Fed is not cutting, and inflation is not running hot, right? This week's CPI report on Tuesday is the most important numbers in the market right now. So there's gonna be levels of volatility. Obviously, you don't want to come in here and start emotionally trading. And the reason why I say that is because of the U.S. Volatility Index. Who in here has heard of the U.S. volatility? That's a volatility measurement of the stock markets. That's the one to watch. Is the move index. That one is the most important, to be honest. It's all that AI stuff making it go up. We in a bubble, right? We are in a bubble. I agree. More than enough, right? The VIX is the market fear gauge. It's to measure how volatility traders expect to trade in the next 30 days, right? Meaning, right? Think of it as the market's anxiety level, just to be very fair. And we can see within last week, we had a very big impulsive weekly candle. Nothing crazy, but definitely a pushback from within the last area that we had. Multiple candles pushing down. It measures what the traders expect the market to do based on option pricing on the S&P. It does not measure where the market is right now. It's marketing the fear, right? And just like every fear, we are pushing up, but I do see all this liquidity, right? That's the first thing I look for when the market's going. But we did create highs. We were up here for a pretty week. If we really wanted to, consolidation, break a structure, new highs were created, rejected off the 7886. But pretty much what is showing us, people anxiety is a little bit much more within this week. It's going down. Let's see how it reacts. This is what I would recommend checking even before you check the indice markets. And the reason why is because you're able to see the level of unawareness, the level of scarcity, and you're able to understand when is a good time to get in the markets. So now going towards the week, right? I do believe silver and gold will continue to fall. The reason why I believe that, the momentum, it's just a momentum push for me. We did not create new highs, right? Market pushed up, came down lower, then created new lows, and then we didn't break above previous higher low. So because of that, I am agreeing that we will continue going lower. If we decide to hit a place, right? I'm gonna be hitting this zone. Maybe bring it down a little lower. right here. And I'm not gonna be entering once it hits the zone, right? We want it to see and do its thing. So I wouldn't want to see it mitigate out of this zone, and work its way up within the smaller time frame. Very, very simple. I want to see new higher highs and new higher lows within the 5, 15, 30 minutes, right? Same thing with gold, right? It doesn't make sense why we'll go up. There's no really demand for gold right now. It looks like the economy is fixing. Oil's getting breached back together. Oil prices have gone down $1 within the last 5 days. So for me, we did have an insane pump, but I can see ourselves working back. Just till we get back to this area right here. Um, boom. Yeah. This area right here. Back to 3,700. We just had an insane push, guys. And like these insane pushes aren't normal. When have you ever seen the market shoot up from 3,000 to 5,200 in a year? Right? Let's do a exact year. Which would be June right here. Yeah. $2,500 um increase, and it's never been done before, right? December '09, 10, it went up like $200, right? It's never been done before, guys. And um, it's that awareness. Is that awareness? Whatever comes up goes up must come down. These are laws, like the law of gravity. Now, when it comes to oil, I don't believe we will go back higher than 100 unless, right? Unless we don't find a solution. I do believe that maybe this war hopefully will be done by the end of this month. It looks like they're coming to pardon, they're coming into reasoning. But if not, I do see this going back to 100 if they just decide to prolong it. Maybe even after the World Cup. But it's very weird. In my scenarios, like, why would you go to war when you're hosting the World Cup and you're going to receive a lot of people receiving visas coming out? There's a lot of you created. If something does happen, I'll just put in this. It's fully Donald Trump's fault for going into this war and not thinking ahead of what could have happened because you're hosting the World Cup. That's how I see it within the economy. Um, Now, when it comes to Nasdaq, um, we did have a great push down. What I would have seen is this consolidation right here, right? We have our breaker structure, and then we create multiple highs. This would have been our entry right here, and I can see Nasdaq working its way and continuing higher, right? So this market open was a beautiful retest. Your stop loss would have been right here, and you would have continued pushing higher. Now once this breaks high, I will consider, right, to maybe re-enter within this same zone for a smaller risk. Now I would want to see new highs being created. Once new highs are created, I will be pretty confident and probably looking from something from this low to wherever the high is and be looking for buys. US 30, right? Miguel was showing us something. What I saw in US 30 was this consolidation, this break of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? We use our Fibonacci from the low to the high, right? And we use our 78886, and we will be looking at these zones for buys, right? Again, consolidation, break of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. I mean, this could have been a good zone. This. I would still count this as potentially active, able to continue. So there is a probability that we just go a little lower, um, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. Again, I won't be entering the trade instantly. I will be waiting on my confirmations, which is pretty much mitigation within the upside. It create new higher highs within the smaller time frame, right? If it just rails through, guys, I'm not entering the trade, right? But if we see some type of rejection, then I will consider entering buys into that. But these will be my two zones for US 30, and as well as the bigger time frame. SPX, right? Kind of the same thing. We have all this consolidation, breaker structure, and the market goes and creates new highs. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, the SPX is showing me a different story. It might seem like we just might break down, and continue going lower, back to the 6,500. And I'm gonna be honest. The only reason that this market would be revived is because of the tourism that's gonna about to hit within the United States. That might just bring up the indices. But for me, I don't see why not we wouldn't retrace back down to these zones. It just doesn't make sense to me. It might not happen now, but it will happen soon. That's definitely a guarantee. I don't see a reasoning why we won't come back down. And I think this push down is a big representative of that possibility happening. So obviously, consolidation, breaker structure. If we do see that zone, we do see a small rejection within the time frame, the smaller time frame. Obviously, I would look for buys here, but really more attentive to that push down, which I can potentially see happening. Now, before we end it, I do want to open any maybe markets you want me to look at as I look into Bitcoin. So drop it because YouTube's a little bit lagged, so it's like 30 seconds late, so I can see your comments as I go look at the comments on YouTube. Now, this Bitcoin trade that I've been holding, well, I haven't been holding. I've got like taken out like 20 times, and then I just sat out. And then the market rallied up, had a great $20,000 move. And then we had a intense um, sell this last week. We are rejecting. What I kind of would want to see is just a more bullish intense. So yes, consolidation, break a structure, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. There is a possibility of this market rejecting. I am willing to pull this trigger right here. It is a small risk. Um, but as well, I wouldn't be surprised, right, if we just come back a little lower and we fill in these zones right here, right? Consolidation right here, right? This is consolidation for me. It's not extend right. Okay. This consolidation, break a structure, multiple highs created. Right, the last place I can see Bitcoin coming, and if it did come to the zone, I will be selling everything. I will sell my car. I will sell my car 100%. But if we see Bitcoin come to 30,000, this would be the goal. I did see Mike Sotero post a couple of trades. Solana is in my investing zone, so if you invest, I will buy Solana. It's completely in my investing zone. It's at $66. Highest it's been at to it's 292 $300. So I am fully going in on this. Same thing with Link. Link's been in my buy zone for a minute. This would be obviously my stop if it continue going lower, and the one and only ICP. Me and her have been going through it for the longest. But ICP is at a zone to buy. Shout out to Mike Sotero for giving that signal out. So, guys, that is it for me. Let's see if y'all have anything y'all want to look up. Probably bottom around 55.5. What do you use to journal? Great question, man. I use if you tag me on, if you are a member within Powerhouse, if you tag me on Discord, I will personally send you the pretty much notion I use. That's the volatility measurements, boom, boom. It's all that AI stuff making it go up, boom, boom. The move index can also make the markets create crazy. Gold probably not to underpin anymore. PBOC stopped buying exactly and actually sold some gold from their balance sheet. Nah, Trump keeps doing the taco. um, but yeah, it looks like everything is good. Shout out to Alex. Love the communication. But guys, definitely an exciting week coming up. I know Junior will be out in Modesto. He will also be out in Phoenix and Dallas. So make sure you're going and attending these workshops. These workshops were genuinely where you have the opportunity to ask these questions in person, be able to get your answer. These reasonings. And the biggest thing I will say before we end off this trading session is question, right? Question yourself. Ask why, right? Everything you do, make it intentional, right? And always be curious, right? When you act like you know it all is the moment where most of the times you will fail within trading. And if you just ask why it did that, it will just create a different perspective within you and within the trading concept. So, guys, I am super grateful to be here on another Sunday Night Live, and I'm excited to see y'all within this week. We do have live trading with Miss Mary Banks this Tuesday. Mr. Miguel, do you have anything else to say to the team?
No, let's keep on running it up, guys. I'll see you inside of the chats, inside of Discord, and inside of Telegram. Let's run it up.
Perfect, guys. See you.